Welcome to the Scene Snobs Podcast.
Site. That's how much YouTube just like, screw you guys.
Yeah, it's not important.
I even upload in HD, and they still looks like crap half the time.
Well, I gotta be honest, it's probably actually helping everybody watching on YouTube because this mug is just no good.
You better calm down. You better calm down out there.
You can go back to like the static days, maybe like antennas, like a little fuzziness. Really, it's when I look best.
You, sir, are a maniac. You're a stark raving maniac.
Cut it out. Come on.
Get out. Dave Coulier over here. Welcome, everybody, to the Scene Snobs Podcast. I am your host, Mick Manhattan, the Scene Snob, and I am super excited for you guys to be here. And who's that? Who's wishing? I love the new backgrounds. This beautiful lady comes all the way from my house.
Holler.
She's my wife. That's why. You can't have her, but that's her comment.
No,
and we love you, but we also love your comments. Thank you. I don't have much. I'm not that good, but yeah, welcome to the Scene Snobs Podcast, everybody. I'm Mick Manhattan. We have a whole new interface here that looks really pretty. I love the whole program, and Casey is christening it with me tonight.
Hi, everybody.
Casey and I go way back. Casey was the host of Off Topic Radio, and he was also the host of Mystery Elephants Radio with moi, if you will.
That guy right there.
We were pretty funny. We were a pretty funny crew.
Sometimes. Looks aren't everything.
Looks aren't everything. It's very true. And he's come here to join me with his COVID haircut. I love it. This should be a lot longer. My mane should be longer.
I'm disappointed, man. I was hoping for the full beard effect at this point.
Dude, it grew. When we started quarantine, I had just gotten a haircut. And then it grew until like all through June. And then in July, I was like, I can't take it anymore.
This is my quarantine beard. It's pretty sweet. Been about 4 months.
All right. It's staying strong, my friend. I love it. Casey, I just keep thinking about that. And one thing I keep thinking about is Raj. We used to play laser tag, and we used to pretend that one of us would die, and then we'd pretend that we were Raj and Riggs in the middle. So, yep. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm talking about crazy things. We have a lot to talk about tonight. I'm very excited.
Big topics.
Yes, 100%, and it's going to be so much fun. Tonight's topics, everybody, that we're talking about. Before we get started, we're going to get in this spooky season. We're going to talk about some horror movies that we are coming up that we're excited for. We're going to be talking about the Pulling Focus watch party that's coming on this Saturday, Halloween specials. Here, I'm going to put the banners up while I talk about them. Yeah. So we're going to talk about what are your favorite Halloween specials and why. We're going to be talking about Japan's new Godzilla ride, which is going to be coming out later this year. So we'll be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about one of Casey's favorite things. Oh, no. I hit the wrong button. What if Order 66 failed? We're going to talk a little Star Wars because I cannot have Casey in a room somewhere without talking about Star Wars at least a little bit.
It'll happen at some point, naturally.
Oh, yeah, 100%. So we're going to talk about what if Order 66 failed, which is a new animated fan film that came out. We both checked it out. We're gonna discuss it a little bit. And then it is debate night, everybody. And it's the mecca of all debates tonight. It is the showdown between myself and Mr. Casey Plott. And we are going to be discussing which movie president would you want to see run the country and why.
Serious stuff on the night of the debate. So big things, huge things. So those are going to be our topics, and then some more. But to get started, it is spooky season. I've been getting into it. I don't know about you, Casey, but I've been really getting into the whole vibe. Stoked, man. Stoked.
Right? I mean, it just feels good.
Yeah, as soon as it got cold out, it was time to go. So exciting.
Every time of year, every time during this year, and especially after the year that we had. Yeah, Halloween is going through the ringer right now. We don't know if we're gonna actually have one or not, but that doesn't stop us from enjoying it, especially as adults. I think this is fine for us as adults. Yeah, we may not get to parties, but
Yeah, it's way better this way. And plus, we get all of our Halloween specials. We get to catch up on all of our movies. This is the best time of year.
And 2 movies in particular that are coming out that I'm very excited for. Both this weekend, actually. Thursday, we get a movie called Scare Me, which looks very weird, very fun. 2 writers are kind of not shacked up together, but they take to a cabin and they're secluded, and they decide to try and scare each other with stories. And do they come true or not? That's the fun part.
This looks really fun. From the trailer, it looked like it's one of those that it's going to be a real actors movie. You're going to have a whole lot of just 3 characters doing a lot of stuff. And it looked like it went weird mod with the colors at one point. It looks kind of interesting. So I'm curious to see where they go with all that.
100%. I am too, because it does look like it gets even more sinister, and they add like another character in during. Yeah. And you're just kind of like, what the hell is going on here? But you're right. It looks very cool in the way they're doing things.
Who's that? Aya Cash. Huge fan of hers. She's great. Her deadpan and just kind of that snarky delivery is fantastic.
Where is she from? I didn't recognize her.
The only thing I can really recall is The Boys.
Yes, she's
Stormfront. Exactly.
Oh my God, I didn't even pick up on that.
Yeah,
dude, she's so good.
Oh, The Boys is incredible this season. Oh.
Yeah, and especially after last season, I don't want to give away any spoilers, or not last season, that last episode. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but it's intense.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. Especially seeing her plan now.
Yeah,
kind of what's going on there. And now how Homelander is such an egotistical bastard that he's just going to be in.
Yeah, totally, 100%. He wants the power, the love. He just needs it all. Talking about percentage points and everything. He's awful. I love him. And Anthony Starr, I've been a big fan of his since what was the show? Banshee. Loved Banshee.
You used to talk about Banshee a lot. So he was the star of Banshee?
Yeah. He's the guy who played the sheriff, who wasn't really the sheriff, just stole an identity and took over as the sheriff. Fun show.
All right, I will definitely check that out. So I am excited for that. And then there's another movie that's coming out on Netflix on Friday. And I will pull it up right now because Pulling Focus is going to be doing a watch party of it on Saturday night at 9 p.m. If anybody's interested in joining in, we'll get the details out to you. It's Vampires versus the Bronx. Now, we both watched this trailer. It looks like a fun Goonies, Monster Squad-esque type movie. And I couldn't be more happy about it.
Yeah, anytime they have these kind of movies where it's the final girls or it's something along the lines of it, there's a good amount of comedy interjected, but still they're trying to be scary and have fun with it. I mean, that's what it is. Horror at this point, if you're not having fun with it, what are you doing? Whether it's Eli Roth fun of more buckets of blood, or you want to go Dale and Tucker versus Evil. It's great.
Well, for you, this time of year, what are you more interested in? Are you more interested in straight horror or horror comedies?
Yeah, more straight horror. Like, I really love my horror comedies kind of throughout the year, but this time of year, I just want to see a whole bunch of slashers from the 80s. My 80s and 90s movies, that's it.
Yes. Well, I got to... I am all about that too. We were putting together a comprehensive list on Behind the Box of our favorite movies to watch at Halloween time. It's going to be an article version, so we're going to write up about it, and then we'll talk about it on the show. But one of them that I really enjoy is Halloween H2O.
Yeah.
I won't watch that any other time of year, but I have to add it to the list.
Yep.
I think it's just that beautiful Josh Hartnett hair.
Well, it's stunning. How can you not? That was Jamie Lee Curtis when she was kind of really growing into that mature older woman.
Yeah.
Her all the time.
Because she didn't have the gray hair yet. It wasn't that long after True Lies. Ultimately, I'd say maybe about 4 or 5 years.
4 years, because it would have been 96 to 2000. So yeah.
No, 98. Because H2O, 20 years. 78.
Yeah, that's right.
So that was only 2 years.
Wow. And then, come on.
Yeah, I know, right? It's crazy. She went from cute screen girl to sexy girl to mom.
Yeah.
In life too. And I'm not putting that down in any way, shape, or form. Still an insanely beautiful woman.
I hope I can age that gracefully. Are you kidding me?
Oh God, I wish. But with that, so we talked about Scary. We talked about Vampires of Brooklyn. What are you doing for Halloween? What are your plans for Halloween?
I don't really have plans this Halloween, man. It's going to be pretty low key because it's the COVID world. So it's this new world where I'm probably going to grab River and we'll wind up just doing a bunch of scary movies. Well, as much as she can handle, which means she'll be able to deal with maybe Monster House.
I'm just playing. I don't know why I'm
I get it.
Just purely playing.
I'd be playing awesome. So yeah, that's really the plan this year. It's going to be pretty low key. I'm trying to take this thing seriously and just hopefully kind of head down and get through it. So,
well, I have 2 words for you. Well, 3 words for you because I have to say the first one, which is actually a symbol. #Mutant Halloween. So the mutants are getting together for a 24-hour Mutant Halloween marathon. That's the mutantfam.com, which is in concurrence with Mr. Joe Bob Brady's and Last Drive-In. And very cool thing that they're doing for Halloween is they're doing a 24-hour marathon where every sponsor hosts a movie.
Wow. Okay.
That's 12 films over the course of 24 hours. Starts at 2 p.m. Eastern and ends at 2 p.m. Eastern on November 1st. And yours truly is a sponsor.
Oh yeah, well I guess I know what I'm doing on Halloween.
Well, I don't know what my time frame is yet, and I don't. Well, I do know the movie, but I can't announce the movie yet. That comes out October 1st. They're gonna announce the lineup. But yeah, I wanted to announce that for everybody who's interested, and then we will live tweet her as a host. I'm probably gonna do something like this as well during the watch, and talk to people and bring on. So. That's going to be a fun one. But yeah, so just so everybody knows, the Mutant Halloween Marathon is 24 hours and it's on October 31st at 2 p.m. Eastern. Starts. I think that's all the slides I ran out of, so I'm going to go right back. Kind of
much fun. That's your load right at the front end, man.
Yeah. Oh, wait, I got a commercial. All right, everybody. So here's my quick live read. Kimball's Cookies. This is our sponsor. They are the best cookies around. They're each decorated by Kimball. Their designs are beautiful. I should do a better live read of this. I did not bring the script with me, but they are our sponsor. They're delicious cookies. They're beautifully decorated for any event. So Father's Day, Mother's Day, is a baby leprechaun born, or is it Christmas? Or right now she's doing Halloween and Thanksgiving. So go check out Kimball's Cookies on Facebook. It's in the description, the link right now. But here's the commercial. You can check it out. And we're back. So,
specialized, Kimballized, Kimball Cookies.
That is the last commercial I have. I'll play it at the end too when we're done, but I want to get into the topics and conversations. So I have to actually cut the dead air out when we're done. So, all right, everybody, it's time to get started. We've been talking spooky season. I know Casey's head is going to explode. Let's talk Halloween specials.
Halloween specials, man.
Casey, what are some of your favorite Halloween specials?
Well, Michael, you see, that's a bit of a loaded question. There's a whole lot to unpack there because the levels of kind of going back, is it a nostalgia thing? And as you know, you asked me this question, I had to look through and really think, what is it? There something that was scarier that I really liked? Was there something that's really funny? And honestly, man, I landed on Garfield's Halloween special.
Yes.
Indeed.
It's going to be a short conversation.
Those pirate ghosts were amazing. Like, and Odie saving the day when he drags him on shore. Come on. If that doesn't tug at your heartstrings, you are cold and dead inside. Just, that's.
And Odie would have been fully within his right to let him drown.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is terrible to Odie.
All the time.
That poor dog just wants to be his friend. And it's so evident in every special. Yeah, even the Christmas
specials, they really just hammered home, especially the Christmas one. Oh, it's brutal.
But with the Halloween one, I gotta say, I think I was really excited about for it was they did a fantastic job with the music. The animation's great because like the ghosts, they look like they were chalk almost.
Yeah,
like chalk overlay. Oh, sorry. But yeah, so it looked like it was a chalk overlay, but they were truly terrifying. Even the old man was really terrifying.
Yeah, it was all really scary. Like, I remember being afraid. And the other cool part was that was all back in the days when you had one VHS with 5 shows on it. So right after that finished, it would go into Indiana Jones and Last Crusade. So it was wonderful. Growing up was delight.
We do have a little bit of a disagreement, I guess, and that is our dear friend of the show, Gerard. He says that it is Charlie Brown and the Pumpkin Patch.
And I totally get that. That's right up there, man.
So let me ask you this, Casey. What makes Garfield better? I know what makes Garfield better. But for you, what makes Garfield better than probably the most famous of all, being Charlie Brown?
Because to me, it was scarier. It actually scared me. So it stuck with me more. And I enjoyed it more. And it had a more touching scene. And I think Charlie Brown, as much as I love it, and I do love it and loved it growing up, it's just, it's kind of, after you watch it so many times, it's like, okay, it's Charlie Brown. We get it.
And, I will say this. I will ask this, though. Why do you think that Charlie Brown outlasts? Because you don't really see Garfield. Like we watch.
No, Garfield isn't on anywhere anymore. And I think that was just because someone marketed it really well in the 60s and managed to just get it to maintain through generation after generation.
I'm kind of upset about that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. It's a bit of an easier tool. You know what I'm saying? Like it's simple. Playground's just a simpler story. Whereas Garfield was always a little more of kind of a jerk. Not a lot of people like the jerk.
That is true. How do you kind of I don't know what's the best way to put it, but like how do you it doesn't really transfer well. You're right, because he is a jerk. And although I think that should make the Christmas special at least stand out, because you got Scrooge type vibe, but Garfield doesn't show up anywhere.
Actually, I've only seen the Christmas special show up ever, honestly, in like the last 2 years that I can recall. That's the only one that I've seen hit the airwaves. Whereas Charlie Brown's got everything.
Yeah. And Charlie Brown, they show it like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
So it's
all over the place.
And it feels to me like with Halloween, there's not as many specials anymore.
Yeah.
I've been getting into it with the kids a little bit because I've been doing promotional shots like with the camera and stuff for some products. And I will say I've been watching a lot of some Halloween stuff. So I've been watching a lot of Halloween commercials to get ideas, what I can Photoshop and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it kind of gets to like for me, like I was watching all of these commercials. We had it really good with commercials and stuff like that. Like there was so much content for Halloween.
Yeah.
And the production value on a lot of these commercials were amazing. They were scary. Like it's awesome. And
Yeah, I remember. I mean, TGIF was one of my favorite things to ever watch growing up, and there was always a big Halloween to do. You know, on Family Matters or Step by Step. Like everybody had a Halloween episode. It was a big deal, and I feel like that's kind of drifted away.
yeah, it really has, and it's just very sad. I don't know why that happens, but Gerard, I got to say, Nightmare Before Christmas, although not a special, it is definitely something you got to watch every year.
And I'm all about Gerard with his next one, because that was another one it was really hard not to actually pull that one out, but Garfield won versus Ernest.
Yeah, let's pull it up because I want to. Ernest Scared Stupid. That's a great choice.
Love it.
I'm going to be watching that very soon, actually. I want the kids to see it for the first time. I want to know why they don't show that. They don't show any of the Ernest movies the way they should.
Dude, I used to always watch Ernest Summer Camp, Goes to Camp. That was a good one, man. Ernest Saves Christmas would be on. All of those gone. I don't have any of them anymore.
And he deserves so much better. Jim
Really
Varney. I wonder if it's a rights issue or whatever, or just people don't think that's going to be interested. Because, I mean, you can never do the character again. So, yeah, I don't know. But Ernest Scared Stupid.
Jim Varney's going to be remembered for what? Slinky Dog? I don't think so. And he deserves it.
I will say this, though. Ernest Scared Stupid is a movie that should be shown more on TV. It's a family-friendly movie. And it just works. Like you can play that on like the ABC Family or whatever they do, the 31 Nights of Halloween, or you could show it on Sci-Fi even. Like that'd
be perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the other little odd ones, real quick, that I wanted to throw out there and see if you had any feelers on. Do you remember the Elvira Halloween specials?
The which one?
Elvira.
No, I do remember them. I don't remember. I remember. All right. So, yes, I remember Elvira. Like she had the Macabre Theater or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember much about it.
The only thing I really remember is, first of all, it's Elvira. So, I saw her when I was, 11, 12, so boobs. And then it was the only time around Halloween when she would actually be on one of the local stations during a normal time. So us folk in Connecticut who had 3 channels could finally see her around that time of year. That was really it. It was the only time I got to watch her.
Yes. She was beautiful. Well, she still is beautiful.
Yeah. Inside and outside.
Yeah. With her red hair now. Cassandra Peterson. It was her birthday recently.
Oh, nice. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Come on the show. Join us.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I always loved Hocus Pocus.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's another good one. I'm actually going to see that in theaters Saturday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's at the Alamo Draft House.
Oh, no, it's already sold out.
I don't know. I don't think so because the 12:30 show. It's a PC showing.
Oh, sweet.
And they're also showing Nightmare Before Christmas too.
Ooh.
And you know who else is showing both? The Family Drive-In.
There you go.
Very cool. So if you're anywhere near Winchester, Virginia, or Stephen City, come visit.
And another classic one, real quick, was Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors. That was one that was always a big deal. Like in middle school was this. Yeah, I love the Treehouse of Horrors.
That might take it for me. That might edge out Garfield. That's my favorite. That's a big one.
Many of them. And I mean, we grew up with it, man. It was every year there was something new with it. And it was awesome. They were always cool and smart. And the Raven was amazing. Like,
And that was like one of the first ones too.
Yeah.
That's a great point though. But I just, that's the time honored tradition I'd ever hate to see go away. And I love the fact that they do. Now. They work so well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, but do you really see anything else? Remember there was a Grinch Halloween special back in the day?
Yeah, I don't remember it. I kind of bumped into it while I was doing some research on this, and a lot of those I oddly just don't remember. I mean, Mr. Boogedy was on there, and I never thought that was a Halloween special.
Oh, Mr. Boogedy is actually on Disney Plus now, and I don't even remember. Some people talk about it, and I have no recollection of it whatsoever.
My little sister loved it, but I must have just missed the boat on that one.
Yeah, I don't remember it at all. And I've heard a lot of people talk about it, especially since Disney Plus came out and had it on there. I don't know. We'll see. But kind of switching gears a little bit to another scary way, I guess. I don't know what I'm talking about. Did you see the new Godzilla ride in Japan? That's going to be opening up this year.
Yeah, so that looks outrageous. Not just for the giant Godzilla that you walk into and around, but the fact that there's a 39-foot Godzilla head that shoots a 15-foot flame. How is that fun?
It's terrifying, man. I don't understand it. Like, because if anybody sees it, go check it out. Yeah, it's like you said, it's just this huge Godzilla head that you like zip line too.
Oh, the zip line, yeah, you zip line into it. Are you kidding me? Someone's gonna die on those teeth.
Oh my god, it's so freaky.
Oh,
and once you're in, like it's a whole different ride or something. It's nutty the way they do it. I want to do it.
Well, yeah, of course.
But I don't want to do it at the same time.
I want to zip line as long as I'm avoiding the 15-foot spire of flame that just fires off. Like, what is that? Why would you?
How messed up would it be if, like, all of a sudden you're just like zip lining into it, and it's the actual Godzilla that just comes up? I died. I don't know why I just thought that, but I did.
Because it's funny.
It just, oh my god, it's so terrifying at the same time. But like, I'm super excited for it. I want to check it out.
The stuff they're coming out with nowadays, it's phenomenal. I really want to go hang out with that giant Gundam robot they made.
It's like 60 feet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, you have to have. You have to use that.
You see the first thing they made it do?
What?
When it finally, like, once it was all assembled, they made it move its arm and flip everybody off.
That is awesome. You gotta love tech geeks, man. You really gotta love tech geeks.
Oh yeah. Well, and have you also seen like the battle mech tanks they have now?
I did see that. It's ridiculous. It's truly horrifying.
Well, if we don't blow each other up, we could have an awesome future of giant fighting robots. I want real steel. That's what I'm gunning for at this point. You know, I think we could do it.
You know, it's funny. I was testing out the watch party with my buddy Brian earlier, and he sent me the link to Real Steel to test it out on that movie on Netflix. And I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, I watched this in the movie theater.
Yes, you did.
Because why not? This Hugh Jackman giant robots fighting vehicle is going to be a winner.
I mean, they took the best parts of Over the Top, which is really most of the movie.
Oh
and
my god!
In Transformers, and it was great. I'm in.
It's truly dysfunctional how good and much I love giant robot fighting movies, and how bad they truly are.
It's so simple. We're such simple creatures, Mike. We don't need story. Michael Bay proved that.
Well, no. Okay, so here's the deal. Here's where I am a teen snob for sure. I'll watch almost any giant robot fighting movie, but I can't stand what they did with Transformers.
Fair. Totally.
But actually, I had Sasha, the Princess of Darkness, on. She's a friend of the show. She was a guest host like 3 weeks ago, and she went into this whole thing about like what the comic books did with Transformers, and the story is amazing.
Really?
Yeah, and the Netflix show is based on that, the War of Cybertron.
Good, because I just started watching it. I love that show. They did a really good job with it.
Her biggest gripe with it was that the show starts off too late, because it starts off after they've seized power from the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
But she would have preferred that they went back and showed you Megatron's uprising and his whole story, because he was a minor slave,
right?
And who just fought the Senate, and it starts off with like he and Optimus being friends, and they both fight the Senate for different reasons in different ways, and it's just truly amazing.
Yeah, I'm really excited to check it out. And you're right, the movies were terrible. They did not do anything justice at all, ever. I think Pacific Rim has more depth than the Transformer movies.
No, first one does.
Well, yeah. First.
The second one.
Second one was a money grab. No one cared.
It really was, and you're just kind of like, come on, really?
Yeah.
And they gave it, and it's funny because they gave it the Independence Day venture where it's just like, oh, we killed off our main character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Come on.
It's so ridiculous. Yeah, I did not enjoy that. But you know what I did enjoy? I enjoyed a little fan film I like to call What If Order 66 Failed? And I would love to get into this conversation with you. We'll get into it a little bit, and I want to know what you thought. You watched it today, too.
I did. I legitimately thought you were about to say it right after these short messages.
Actually, before we do that, check out these short messages. No, I want to explain before we go on. So, What If Order 66 is a fan film that came out. I don't know who put it out, and I will find out for you because they did a great job with the animation. The animation is really cool, and I have to give them credit for that.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I like that style.
But they did a really good job with that. But the premise is it turns the idea of why the Jedi didn't sense anything coming, and then they said, well, what if it failed? What if the Jedi won? Where would we go from there? And I thought they did pretty well with it. So I want to know what you thought, Casey.
So I have a few things here. I was a big fan of what they did, like you said, animation style. I really liked the fact that they involved more of the masters and kind of gave you this idea of why wouldn't the Jedi sense these things? Like it's kind of dumb to think they wouldn't have some way of knowing and feeling that their guns pointed at them and they're about to be shot. So I really do like the fact that they right out the gate kind of have that twist. That was neat. I really enjoyed the story with Yoda and what they did with him and the way they had, Darth Sidious play out.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a major problem with the fact that they're always killing the attractive Twi'lek master. Why does Plo Koon survive? Why? Come on, man. Come on. Where's, Me Too movement? What the hell? So so it was good. It was really good. I like the story. I like what they did with Anakin. I like the ending, I think, more than anything, and I almost don't want to ruin it, but it was so cool. And I wish they would follow that line.
So where do you think that would go? Like, let's take it. I want to get your feelings on, like, all right, so now they arrested Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not dead. He
Right.
wasn't cut up. He was just taken out. He was taken in. And, do you think that going on and now you have Luke and Leia born, raised by their mother, raised to the Jedi principles, under the Jedi Council guide, what's left of it, and Yoda being there and Obi-Wan and such. So for you, where do you see it going? Does Anakin get out and is he good?
Oh, well, yes, because at the very end they do the whole Jar Jar let him out.
Yeah.
And they were playing the whole Jar Jar's the Sith Lord, and it seems like they're going to run down that line. And I've always loved that line. I think that's one of the best. Because if he's the one pulling all the strings and Sidious was not as bad or was not the big bad, I think the potential there is for this same sort of thing to continue happening. Now, whether they would focus on like the twins, would Luke and Leia be responsible for going and tracking down their father? Would somehow then you have one of them fall during that process? Or them die during that process? Like, that could be a lot of fun to play out. Maybe if you kill Luke and Leia becomes this sort of Jedi consular guardian awesome knight.
Well, yeah, for sure if there ever was going to be somebody who got killed, it's not going, in this situation, it's not Leia.
No. No, and honestly, probably closer to maybe Obi-Wan dies again. I mean, just off him.
Yeah. Take him out right away.
Yeah, just be like, you're done. Sorry, thanks, man. See you later.
Skyline, thank you. Appreciate that. New look is pretty cool. I'm enjoying it. And I can thank theconguy.com, the guys over there, for giving me the heads up. But yeah, so we are talking, what if Order 66 had failed? And now we're kind of getting into our own little thing of where does it go after that? And
I mean, do in your opinion, what happens? Do you think some sort of dynamic change in the Jedi Council itself?
Well, all right. I don't know that it would be a dramatic change because it would definitely be a rebuilding right after, even if Order 66 failed. But I would say that, all right. So it'd be a rebuilding. They'd be training Luke and Leia. They'd have to train Luke and Leia. You can't not. With how powerful Anakin is, they have to do it. So if they do, are they training him? It depends on how they would train them. Are we training them to be Jedi, or are we training them for the idea that Anakin could get out one day?
Yeah, that's a fun little twist you could play with. Yeah.
And which masters would? Because I don't think Obi-Wan would do that. So now do we have deception within the ranks of the council?
Well, there already kind of was, but now those numbers have thinned down a lot. Because you got to, like they even said in the video, they're like, some Jedi still fall. I mean, some still get shot. It's not everybody makes it out, but it's a much larger percentage that actually makes it. And it's still able to keep the council together. So I don't know. I don't think Yoda would do that. I don't think he would be in that manipulation sector. But you almost have to be on high guard now because you've just had basically a Sith Lord come in and take over everything for a brief period of time. So do they become more police-like?
Do they have to become more police-like? What happens with the Senate? What are they going to do?
Yeah.
You know, because they let Anakin in.
Yeah.
And actually, what happens with the Senate now that the Chancellor, well, the Emperor, because he was the Emperor at that time.
Yep.
So where does it go? Can it go back to the Senate? Can the Senate be trusted to make those decisions after electing him the Emperor?
Right, exactly. So now what do you have? Do you have some sort of turnover in those seats? Do you have something change there? Do you have maybe some people start pulling out of the Galactic Senate because they don't trust it anymore?
Yeah, and okay, so if you have, so I love this. I love the theory. So if you have people pulling out of the Senate and out of that government, just kind of governing themselves, what power do the Jedi have at that point? Are they respected? Can they go to other places and police at that point? Are they forcing the power or the authority?
Or does it move from a position where they now have to focus more with their consular wings? So it's not just the Guardians and being all, skilled with fighting, but now they really focus on the political side of it. Maybe they have that adjudication branch kind of break off and become bigger because they do an outreach to try to bring back those planets that are gone.
Yeah, but I mean, even then, after Anakin, who was such a hero during the Clone Wars, and really well known as a Jedi Knight, he never made master.
He never did. Nope.
Is now evil, even though they caught him. He's still alive.
Right.
Does that legend get out?
Yeah. I mean, once he's out now, he's no longer that part machine, the part that's slowed down, the part that has to struggle to breathe and can barely fight Obi-Wan. Now he's ultimate power.
Yeah. So so now we have Yoda running the council.
Mm-hmm.
Yoda's going to try and fix things. You have Obi-Wan on the council for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Basically kind of running things. But even then, how do you kind of trust Obi-Wan after failing with Anakin?
Right. Or does Obi-Wan take himself out still? So even though maybe he's not going to go to Tatooine where he's going to hide and watch over Luke, perhaps he still hermits up. Maybe he even goes full gray Jedi just because Anakin was his brother. He says that time and time again. I mean, that hurt doesn't change. So he might just bail.
Do you think he would go into hiding again?
I don't know if he would be hiding necessarily, but he'd probably be, maybe an attaché in a different planet far, far away, working for a small group of Mandalorians or something, some underprivileged or something random.
Yeah, that's legit. All right. So, man, I like where it drives me nuts because we got the 3 movies we did recently.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, man, if somebody had just asked this question, or George Lucas was just like, man, this would be a lot better of a story. But then, like, the Holy Trilogy would be null and void.
And you can't do that, yeah.
No, everything's got to center around the Holy Trilogy.
It's got to be able to come back through. If it doesn't, get it out of here.
Yeah, all right. Because then where does Han end up? And you can't not have Han.
Dude, come on. You can't. No Lando? Are you out of your mind?
Listen, I recognize that. I recognize that we wrote ourselves into a hole.
Nowhere else to go. I think 66 pretty hard. We ordered it hard.
Okay, so Order 66. Order 66 has to go through. Has to win.
Yeah.
So that way we can get the Holy Trilogy.
Yeah, there's no way to not have it work out. Now, it'd be cool if we could write stories like to that end, or I'd like to see this same people who did this fanfic. I would love to see them continue that on. It'd be really stretch this and see where they go with it, especially with that art style.
Yeah, that'd be legit. That'd be so interesting. I would love to see. Can we do an alternate timeline? He did in the video. He was like, "Let's follow an alternate timeline."
Yeah. Yep. I don't see any problem with it. Let's do it, Mike.
Let's hire that guy because he does better animation than we do.
Totally fair. Bro, I'm telling you, popsicle sticks are back.
So you got to walk up and be like, "You got to write what we say. You got to write what we want to see."
I'm gonna put some words here on the paper. You gotta write it.
Put the words down.
Do your drawing.
We want Ray back. What? Everybody just goes crazy. You can't say that I blame them.
Way and winds up with Ray.
So what would you? Let me ask you this: if they did redo it, say they just redid it one day, would you have Ray as a character still?
I don't think you can.
Okay.
I don't think you could make it work. If you're going to focus with Jar Jar being the bad guy, you can't have Palpatine's seed essentially kind of play into that. I don't think. I mean, I'm sure someone is much smarter than me could make it work, but I just don't see those dots connecting as well as focusing on like Jar Jar or finding some sort of weird Gungan order that's like, I don't know, special Sith assassins.
Let me ask you this. Why do you hate women so much that you wouldn't put Ray? I don't know how to answer this question.
Well, Mike, look, you can't just open up the book of life and jump into the middle of it, all right? It's a long story tale there that I can't get into right now.
What about Star Crusher story from the video game comic? I don't know. I'm not familiar with Star Crusher.
I think Star Killer, and that was he was the Darth Vader's apprentice, Force Unleashed, and that was a pretty cool story. I really liked his story. I liked the Star Killer. I wish they had done more with him.
I mean, yeah, I'd be interested to see it.
I'm sure. I read the comic books. I'm sure there's tons of cool stuff.
Yeah, they always expanded pretty well on those. Yeah, and Gerard says correct. So, Gerard, you were part of the conversation, and we love you. So, switching gears a little bit, I think we've We've sullied the good name of Star Wars enough. So I have a question for you. It's debate night.
It is.
What or which movie president would you want to see run the country?
So I actually want to start this off with one of my honorable mentions, who I just think would do a better job than the guy who's currently in there, even though I think they'd be the same person.
God.
President James Dale from Mars Attacks.
Oh my God! You're just getting the same one over again.
Exactly, but at least it's Jack Nicholson.
That doesn't count. That doesn't mean
it totally counts. James Dale's.
No. I can't allow that. I'm vetoing it. I veto that president. I veto that presidential choice. For best for the country?
No. I was saying he was an honorable mention. Not that's who I would actually take. That's outrageous. I'm saying he's doing the same thing that's already happening, so we have seen it happen.
All right. So if on your list he is an honorable mention, who's the actual choice? Richard Nixon from I don't know.
Dick?
Or Dick from Dick, or from The Ineptitude of Dick, or from Nixon, or from Frost Nixon, where he's a criminal, or from All the President's Men?
All the President's Men, yep, that was a good one. That's a good portrayal.
So you would just go with all versions of Nixon.
Obviously, I think Alan Richmond from Absolute Power, portrayed by Gene Hackman, is exactly who we need in this.
What? He murdered her.
Yeah, but he got away with it.
That's fair. He did get away with it. God, that scares me so much.
Yeah, dude, seriously. One of the other ones that I think really needs to be heard and then after I mention this one, I want to hear your choice before I give my real one.
Okay.
Merkin Muffley.
Where's that from?
From Dr. Strangelove.
Oh, I love Peter Sellers in that role.
So good in there. No fighting in the war room.
There's no fighting in the war room. Or no, yeah, Merkin Muffley is a funny choice because Peter Sellers was so good. That's still one of my favorite monologues of all time. When he's like, "Don't be like that, Dimitri," and he's on the phone with him. He's like, "Oh, Dimitri, no, you know I love you."
Of course, we didn't want to do this on purpose. No.
Do you really think that we would? He's just like having this conversation, and there's nobody on the other one.
Nope.
And he delivered it perfectly. And he played 3 different roles in that movie, which was
Dr. Strangelove, and then the British RAF captain.
Yeah, yep.
Captain Mangrove, I think.
He was perfect, man. He really was. So going along, I was trying to figure out. I started this by saying who would be awesome, and I was like who would be a strong president? Who would actually be presidential? Something we haven't seen in 4 years. I don't care. It's my show. I can say whatever I want. And I started to think about, okay, do I go with ones that are like more my favorites, or do I go with ones that are like would be good? I really truly think would be good.
Yeah,
again, I'm not against a Republican president, and I'm not against a Democratic Republican. I'm against this Republican president, and I want to put that up there for whoever's listening now. This particular one, this slumlord, sleazy orange bastard that for almost 40 years of my life has been somehow entwined in my life because I grew up near him and just knew what he was, and now he's the president, and it's fucking scary. Anyway, I don't want to talk about him. I want to talk about good presidents. So I thought about it, And then I thought about Bill Pullman at first from Independence Day.
I mean, come on. That's the obvious front runner. That was mine, too. That was immediately.
Nope, not my front runner. He's the first one I thought about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he was a fighter pilot, so he has military background.
Yep.
We do know he can deliver one damn fine speech, so he can rally the troops. Mm-hmm. He's not afraid of fighting. Clearly a Republican, but with good values. Mm-hmm. Even could stand up to lead after his wife was murdered by the aliens. And I do blame the aliens, by the way.
They knocked down their helicopter.
It was a murder. We got Gerard says, Deep Impact, Morgan Freeman. He's a terrible president.
Morgan Freeman has 2 presidencies.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He comes back and Angel Has Fallen. That's the president. Yep. He was the vice president. And Olympus Has Fallen. And what was the second one? London Has Fallen. I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Something like that. And then
flexes muscles and shoots things. It was awesome.
He was good. But I would not say Deep Impact Morgan Freeman. So he was good in it. But I mean, like, if you say Morgan Freeman should play God or be God, yeah, okay. He was the best God, in my opinion, on screen.
I think he is.
Maybe, yeah, I would still say he's the best God, George Burns being a close second.
Ooh, nice. Strong.
Morgan Freeman gets God. I'm not giving him the president. But good choice, though, Gerard. So I did think Bill Pullman's character from Independence Day, what was his name? Thomas Whitmore.
Yep.
So, but sorry, Tom, you lost. And then I went right to, well, maybe we're on one side of the spectrum. He's a president who understands war. He's from the military. Let's go to the other side. Dave. So we got Dave Kovac, who was pretender in chief for a little while when he took over as the president of the United States in the movie Dave. And Kevin Kline gets a great performance in this role. Dave is a sound president who cares about his people, and I still love the budget scene in that movie where he's like, "Well, why can't we make this work?"
Right. Yeah.
And they sit down and they make it work. That's an economical president who wants to see people get jobs, and that is important. And if he ran this country, that's fine. But could he make the tough decisions, especially in today's world?
Well, I think Dave might be the guy who would surround himself with the people who would advise him properly.
If he had to, yes, I agree. But we don't know how he would stand on being tough. He's not a military man. Would he want to talk things out? He seemed a very gentle soul, which is good. But can you run the presidency that way? But you do need that gentleness and that pragmatic way. But you also need somebody who can close their fist and let you have it if they need to.
Well, of course. I mean, you got to have the Teddy Roosevelt effect.
So then I went from Dave back over to you like where I'm going with this? President James Marshall.
Well, of course. Come on. I mean, let's all just admit it. How could you not?
Yep.
I mean, he was prior military. He was like a football all-star.
Yep.
So he was. I mean, he's a good man on campus. Everybody loved him. He got along with everybody.
He's tough as hell. He diehards his way through that plane.
That was a different one.
I completely spaced. He dieharded his way through that plane, and got his plane back, even though it crashed very closely after. But he got everybody off. Mm-hmm. He got them both off the plane and sexually because it's Harrison Ford.
Well, naturally, he walks by in his natural musk.
It is. It really is. So I thought about that, and he's not my first choice.
What? This legitimately, that's where I thought you were going to go. As soon as you said this is what you wanted to do, I was like, well, I mean, unless it's either going to be that or it's going to wind up being the president from Escape from L.A.
Oh, God, no. God no. He was the worst. Cliff Robertson, he was such a tyrant. That's what we have now.
Yeah, exactly.
He is a perfect impression of what we have now as a president in real life.
Similar. Oh.
So I went back and forth, and then I think I found a dead center middle. Okay. Somebody who has that kindness and that he's a practical president, but he can be tough when he needs to be. Mm-hmm. This is my number one choice. President Andrew Shepard from The American President.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
I'm impressed because that is a fantastic middle of the road pick. It's very difficult for me to dissuade you on it because I think you're kind of right. He's not flashy, man. He's not going to sell magazines, you know?
Well, first of all, if we're talking about the sexual ooziness, and we were just talking about that with Harrison Ford, it's Michael Douglas. First of all, he still has the ooziness of his father, from his father's DNA on him, and his father banged everything under the sun back in the day.
That's totally fair. And that barrel chest, I mean, Kirk Douglas I think he invented that barrel chest.
He did. Lloyd Bridges made it pretty popular, too.
Yeah, he was a big one.
But, yeah, no. So Michael Douglas is a cool president. Out of all of them, I'd say he's the coolest president.
Yeah, he had the most suaveness about him. I mean, I don't know. I still think Whitmore was pretty solid from Independence Day. I think between his toughness, his suaveness, and the fact that he was really cool under pressure and listened to all of his advisors, those were such big things that, oddly enough, a few years ago, I never would have paid attention to. As a president, I never would have cared. And now, situation, it made me pay attention. You know, it's kind of like, wow.
But think about that. Think about that. Andrew Shepard does listen to his people.
He does. Oh, yes.
Yep. Until it comes down time where he knows when to listen and when not to listen. Right. Because remember, they were saying, do this, or don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. And he was doing it, and that was because he was in love with a woman. What was her name? Leslie Allen Wade?
Annette Bening?
Well, Annette Bening was.
And that's when he kills Annette Bening, right? Oh wait, no, 1600. My bad.
Oh my god, I love that movie.
I love that movie too.
I need to go back and watch that. I really do love, and that and Rising Sun. So like, but he goes back, and then finally, when they're telling him like, you need to say something, Richard Dreyfuss is picking on you. I'm Richard Dreyfuss. I was in Jaws.
I don't need this.
I should be president. Leslie, what's her name? It's going to drive me nuts if I don't know it. Sidney Allen Wade. Don't talk about Sidney Allen Wade because she's out of your league. Some shit like that. It's amazing. I love it. That's my number one. I think Andrew Shepard would be the best to run the country right now.
That's strong, and I would not be against that. I'd be pretty happy with that. I just saw Jeff Bridges from The Contender, and I completely forgot that Jeff Bridges was a president at one point. And let's be real for just a second here. America, don't we need the dude? Don't we want the dude? Don't we require a little bit of chill, some relaxation, some hanging out with your buddies, maybe a little bowling? Why don't you kick back, have a nice little White Russian, and enjoy the ride with President Jackson Evans, Jeff Bridges, The Contender.
Jesus. That's amazing. That's a good choice. It's a good poll. I never even thought about that.
I mean, I was always a fan of David Palmer. He's usually my go-to because I love David Palmer. He was my favorite president I've ever seen portrayed on screen. But that was 24, and I was sticking to movies. So,
I will say this: I love David Palmer. I thought he was great. When they killed him off, I was that heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
Especially because you couldn't just let him live. But yes, I will agree with you on that. David Palmer is the best president on screen ever.
Mm.
But if we're just talking strictly movies, I still have to go with Peter Shepard.
Yeah, and I really don't fight you on it. It's fantastic. It's a good choice.
The
dude, man.
But it is the dude. All right. Well, I mean, at least it's Michael Douglas versus Jeff Bridges. So,
yeah.
And if anybody were watching right now, I would say, why don't you vote for us and tell us who wins? Is it Jeff Bridges from The Contender, or is
it? I mean, he nominated a woman to be president. That's huge. It's huge. It's huge. So,
this is true. I don't know. Did you see that new? It's called The Glorious. It's a Gloria Steinem movie.
No.
It's coming out. The reason you reminded me is because you said the dude, and I was thinking of Julianne Moore. She's in it. She plays. There's 4 actresses that play Gloria Steinem in the movie. She's I think 8. Then there's a 14-year-old virgin. Then Alicia Vikander.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love her from Tomb Raider. She's amazing.
Yeah, she plays her in the 60s and 70s.
Cool.
When at the beginning of her writing career. And then Julianne Moore plays her. I think it's in the 90s, 2000s, and such and on. It looks really good. You should check out the trailer.
Yeah, it sounds really cool. It sounds almost like Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium, just less heroin-y.
Yeah. Oh. Wait, what? Who's Fitz Thomas Grant III? Who is that?
More as a president.
Fitzgerald. Okay, I gotta go. I gotta give it to you, Gerard.
I'm going to the mattresses here. We're gonna find the answers.
So I'm gonna look this up. Okay, so it's popping up for me. What movie is this from? I don't remember it. So he's from. I recognize him. Oh, it's from Scandal. Yeah. He was a terrible president. You're 100% right.
Or President William Haney.
Oh, he said Scandal right after, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, Rod. You keep me running for a loop here, trying to figure it out. But no, I'm thinking about it, and I'm telling you, I think it's Andrew Shepard. If we're just going strictly movies, of course, David. What do you call it? David Palmer wins, in my opinion.
Yeah. For all screen time, David Palmer's the tits.
But Andrew Shepard, I love his demeanor. I watched that movie recently. I do this thing when I can't sleep, and I call it insomnia movie theater, and I only watch movies that make me feel good.
That's pretty good.
Dude, I'm telling you, next time you're feeling down, or feeling depressed, or whatever else, just force yourself, even if you don't want to watch them, force yourself to watch movies that make you feel good. So, I watched The American President. The next night, I watched Doc Hollywood.
Yes.
And they're movies that I went back mostly to the 90s, and I was I'm gonna find movies that really just kind of shine through for me. And maybe I wouldn't revisit if I didn't give it another thought, but I was you know what? I'm really gonna watch Doc Hollywood. Yeah. I haven't seen it since the 90s, but I remember it was a good movie. And then I just kind of jumped around to other fun, good movies. The American President is a lighthearted good movie. There's a lot of Rob Reiner movies that show up in there.
Well, yeah, Rob Reiner, man. I mean, you talk about lighthearted. I mean, When Harry Met Sally, everything just makes you laugh. It makes you feel good. It's got a good story. Love that.
What do you call it? I interviewed 2 producers one time. Terrific producers too. Laura Smith and sorry, I'm drawing a blank right now. Anyway, so I interviewed them a while ago, and they produced the movies To the Stars and the new one, The Quarry, with Michael Shannon and
okay.
William. and we were talking about that. And at the end, I asked him, I was like, so if you could produce any movie, past, present, or future, what movie would you produce? And one said The Princess Bride, and one said Harry Met Sally.
Yes.
I was like, you guys do realize that you need to work with Rob Reiner, right? They're like, oh my God, it is the same movie. But it works on so many levels. And
he is that lighthearted guy. Like, I actually did do that recently with City Slickers. I forced myself to go back and watch City Slickers because I remember really liking it when I was younger. And
that's a good one.
Funny. Yeah.
Keep that in your back pocket. So, like, again, if you're ever feeling down, I'm telling you, and anybody who's listening or watching, if you're just feeling down, force yourself to watch good, kind-hearted movies. And it makes you feel so much better by the end of it, because, like, my one thing was I was, like, going crazy with everything that's going on in the world, you know? And I was just, like, he's up, and I was like, this president's killing me. Like, he's just driving me crazy. Everything seems so pessimistic right now. So I watched The American President. And then I did Dave was another one I watched.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one. I need to revisit Dave. I love Kevin Kline. He's in and out, hilarious. That's a great classic that I love to pull up.
Another good one, another kind-hearted one.
Mm-hmm. There's always, what is it? A Walk to Remember. A little sad, but still good, you know.
I wouldn't go with that one. That would be a cry movie.
Yeah, that's fair.
But if I'm gonna watch, a cry movie, I'll personally watch like something like Field of Dreams.
The Notebook.
The Notebook, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
I like what this has turned into. But like Steel Magnolias, Terms of Endearment. Movies like that are like cry movies.
Trouble with the Curve. No, not really. Trouble with the Curve. No, it's not.
Summer Catch. That was another one.
Oh, Summer Catch is awesome.
Summer Catch was another one. And it's so hokey. It's truly, honestly hokey. But it's a feel-good movie. It's 100% feel-good movie.
You know what another one for me is? Down to You.
Yeah. Okay. That's the one where
Buddy Prince Jr.
He's the spy and she's with the supermodel.
No.
That's Julia Stiles, yes.
Yeah. This is the one that's just them in a relationship and just kind of through in it, but it's just a little more adult. They're not in high school. That was the only difference.
So she's all that is what you're saying.
Exactly. It's exactly what it was. Cookie cutter. 10 Things I Hate About You is classic in that regard. That always makes me happy. It's a great happy.
That is a good one. That's a good choice. So you can find a lot of them too. Like there are a lot of. I feel like we kind of got away from that genre a little bit. That subgenre of like happy movies.
Yeah, and I kind of went through after going through all the Spielberg movies. I found that had a lot of that same effect where I felt great after watching those movies. Like even there's nothing really happy about that movie because it's this weird way of taking you on this adventure that you get caught up in it, you get swept up in it, you get taken away, and it's nice that he does that spectacularly. And yeah, Gerard, I'm seeing you, man. Life is a House. Whew.
That is a tough one. I tell you, Kevin Kline's great in that movie. So is Hayden Christensen. A lot of people who crap on Hayden Christensen as an actor, like, go watch any movie outside of Star Wars, and he's really good in it. Yes. And he does a really good job in My Life as a House. And I love that scene where he just gets so fed up, and you see it as a father with his son just talking back to him. And he turns around with the hammer. He's like, let me just pull out those piercings. Come here. And he's just like, he's being funny, but at the same time, he's just like, he's dealing with cancer. He's dealing with everything else and dying and just trying to connect with the son. And it's one of those rare moments of acting that just hits you right over the head. And you're like, this is a fantastic, this shows how good of an actor you truly are.
Yeah.
And I have another example of that, and that's Speed. And I know it's a hidden gem. It's a hidden gem, but this proves Keanu Reeves as a great actor.
Okay.
When he hears about Harry getting killed, his reaction, just watch his reaction. He just like freaks out and he starts screaming. He grabs the bar and he's just like loses it. It's a visceral reaction of emotion, and it's just a beautiful thing. And every time I see that scene, I'm like, this whole movie is about a bus.
Yeah.
Blow up at any time. It is not meant to have moments that one creates. And he nailed it. He nailed it.
As opposed to someone like on the other side of that, Colin Farrell with Phone Booth, who didn't quite. Yeah. I did like it. I liked it, but I could see where a lot of people pander it, and I think I liked it more for Kiefer Sutherland's part than Colin Farrell. You know,
Kiefer Sutherland had a great role in that. He did. All right, so Kiefer Sutherland in that, and you never see him until like the end, and it's like,
just walking away,
super quick. But he does such a great role because like over the phone, and that's a very hard thing to do, and there's not many scenes to kind of pull from. The only other one I would pull from that does a really good job with it is Compliance. That's the one. It's based on the true story about the guy who called up the what was it? It was like a fast food restaurant. Talked to the manager, who was like an authoritarian type, and told her, "I'm a police officer. I'm investigating your employee. This employee. We're on our way. We need you to hold her for us until we get there because she stole money and blah, 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 or whatever." And so the manager does it and holds her in the back and is on the phone with the cop the whole time. And he's like making her do things. So, well, okay, make her strip, and like she makes her strip down. The employee has her do like searches on her and stuff like that. It's such a crazy movie. And it's not really a thriller, but it is a drama, and it's a tough watch, but at the same time, like it's really well done. It's based on a true story because that actually happened.
Wow.
And yeah, I would I suggest. Terrible for a podcast. Sorry. Anybody who's listening to that is like, what are you doing? It's just one of those movies, though. Compliance, really, you should check it out if you get a chance.
Yeah, no, I'm pulling it up right now. I definitely going to add it to the list.
But yeah, but the feel-good movies, like, yeah, you need the cry movies, 100%.
Yeah. One last thing is that instant cry movie, and I think that's a good combination of both. The more I think about it, you remember One Last Thing, the one with a kid with cancer has the Make-A-Wish?
No.
So this kid, in the first 10 minutes, basically, he's at the Make-A-Wish thing, and he wanted to go fishing with his favorite football player. So that was what he was going to do, was go fishing where his dead dad, played by Ethan Hawke. Yeah, brilliant movie and story. So he gets up there, and he's 16, and he smokes weed because he's got terminal brain cancer. And his buddies are like, why are you going fishing with this quarterback for the Eagles? Why don't you do something cool? So he gets up to the mic, and he goes, I want to spend a night with my favorite model. That's what he makes his last wish thing. And then it's the adventure for him to go after her and have his one last night with her.
Okay. I did not know that.
It's wonderful. Very sad. Very sad. But
yeah, he obviously doesn't get the model.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe no. You never know.
You never didn't get it. Yeah. I gotta say though, yeah, that feels good. And like that's my favorite thing though. If I'm feeling down, watch a kind-hearted movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Couldn't agree more.
And the 90s was really good for that. So I got to give them credit. Like I think there was one 80s movie. I can't remember which one it was, but like there wasn't much compared to what the 90s gave us. I think the 90s was just a more optimistic time.
Exactly. I mean, you got to remember a lot of the 80s, it wasn't that optimistic. It was a lot of party. I mean, that's most of what you had in the 80s was the freaking party movies, man. It was party, party, party. So
100%. Next time you're on a show, we should talk about best looking 80s movies.
Ooh.
That'd be a cool one.
Yeah, I dig that. It's a fun topic.
I mean, my only thing to say would be anything Tony Scott directed.
I mean, that's pretty basic right there. Ridley Scott did a few things, but yeah, pretty much.
I love Tony Scott's hot look to his movies. But
yeah, that's what makes Top Gun so great. And, Days of Thunder, it's all that.
Yeah.
He's coming off of all that tarmac, man. He loves heat coming off the old blacktop.
He really does. I do too. If I ever make a movie, I'm doing it.
Yeah,
I
just want my life to be shot like Beverly Hills Cop. I'd be happy with that.
You see, I would be different. Beverly Hills Cop too. It's a better look. It's a better look.
It is a better look. It actually was done better. You're right.
It's not no, actually, I shouldn't say that. It is my favorite of the Beverly Hills Cops movies.
I agree with that.
One is such a great story.
Mm-hmm.
Two is just you got out of the way them hating Axel. Now they love Axel and they want his help. And you see, and I love that connected. I love that he and Vogel are friends. And I love that they all go fishing.
You've got to have that. It's wonderful that they have that because in the first one you get the fun story and it's a comedy. And the second one is an action movie with funny parts. It's great.
Yeah, it's a fish out of water, but he has allies now. There's this clear, concise bad guy. Well, I shouldn't say that. There was a good bad guy in the first one, especially Mike from Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
So
Hair.
He just popped up on what do you talk on Deep Space Nine. I'm doing a rewatch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he popped up. You remember when they go with the Kai to that prison moon, and it's the two factions fighting, but the microbes on the planet keep bringing them back to life, and they keep fighting.
Yeah.
But if they left the moon, they would die.
Yep.
He was the leader of the Outcasts.
Oh, he's the one with the weird messed up whole face all blown up. Yeah, I do remember him. Yep.
And I half expected him to look at Cisco and just be like, I don't do half measures.
Half measures.
I love, oh my God. And I was telling Mary about that too, because she's rewatching Dexter, and I was like, just stop after season 4.
Yeah. No, that's it. Be done. No more.
For the longest time, season 4 to me was the best season of television ever.
That's Trinity Killer, correct?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And until Breaking Bad came out, I was like, this is the best season of any show ever.
Oh, 100% agree. Yeah.
And Breaking Bad came out, and every season of Breaking Bad is just the best show ever. It's basically what it comes down to.
Pretty much, yeah. But I'm with you. Dexter did everything right for so long. And when they didn't, it was abrupt and it was hurtful. It was just not fun.
It's so, and to amp it up in the 4th season like that, and add John Lithgow as the Trinity Killer, you're just like, this is perfect. They're going head to head.
After
it's so good.
Came off having the Jimmy Smith season.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad. I like the Jimmy Smith season. I can see why some people thought it was a little weak, maybe because not every episode was as cool. But once you have the Trinity Killer, it's over.
Well, I think you know what it is. The Jimmy Smith season is a good one, but it is a clear 3rd season because the first season's amazing. The Extra Killer is a great storyline. Then the 2nd season is fantastic, and then then you get to the 3rd season, and it's just not as good as the 2nd season, but still good.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, and Jimmy Smith is fantastic.
Oh yeah, but then you get the 4th season, and you're just like, oh my God, like. Any other season of the show is dog crap compared to this season because it's so good. And that is very true for seasons 5 through 8.
Yeah. And I wish they would have stopped there because the idea of the little boy being in his mom's blood and Dexter's the one who walks in and finds him, it's like, well, there you go. You literally just gave us 4 seasons of wonderful television and showed us how the next Dexter is to come about.
Yeah, and now you ruined it.
yeah, well, and they got all over themselves.
Oh my God, it's so good though. I love that show. I do love that show, but I don't know. You know what I'm ready to rewatch? Sorry, I know I'm going long, but we're having a good conversation.
This is awesome.
Haven.
Oh, dude, I need to finally sit down and watch it because I've been heavy into my, Stephen King side now. All of a sudden, I'm watching it again. So I'm like, yeah.
I that is such an underrated show, and anybody who's watched it or has a negative thing to say about it drives me crazy because it is a great show. They do some fantastic things in that show.
Even with Eric Balfour's giant face.
You know what? When he comes on the screen, all I remember is Eric Balfour from the '90s CW era, and I'm like, screw you, Eric Balfour, and your Teen Beat BS. And then you watch, and then you watch Haven.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say you watch Haven, and then you're like, Duke, you're the greatest.
See, I remember him from the OC as the older brother.
Yes, he was. Oh, he was. Yeah. How crazy is it that Olivia Wilde started on the show as like the bartender, the sexy bartender, and now she's directing a Marvel movie? Good for her, man. She stepped up in such a huge way.
Is she directing?
I don't know yet, but I know she is directing a Marvel movie. I don't think they announced what she's directing. I just know she was hired to direct.
That's pretty amazing.
I think it's implied that it's going to be the Captain Marvel.
Okay.
But the Muslim girl Captain Marvel, which I'm okay with because she's from Jersey City, New Jersey, and that's where I'm from. So I'm like, I'm cool with it. Yeah, I remember when they said that in the comic books that she's from Jersey City. I'm like, then she should be on the Avengers. Show them how it works.
I did hear something very interesting about Jersey the other day, Mike. And
you do it.
I remember being able to tell you. So you've heard the commercials for the New Jersey Institute of Technology.
Yeah.
Well, they are currently part of the team that is headlining the #1 spot for renewable resources on the Eastern Seaboard. In the United States, they're #1, which is really good that third world countries are still stepping up. They're really taking that responsibility and really running it. All the resources.
You shut your mouth. It's the only third world country that if we stood up and said we're taking over, it'd be the United States of New Jersey. By the end of the week. Now it's 4 years.
They'd be like, no one's stopping you.
Be like, we're taking over. Where the beach is at.
How did the United States pollution all of a sudden drop 20 points?
We clean things up.
Yep.
Oh, so Olivia Wilde is tapped to direct the Spider-Woman movie.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm excited for a Spider-Woman movie.
Listen, that's all well and good, but the girl from Jersey City should be the one that's headlining.
Totally fair. I won't fight you on it.
But it is coming around that time. We talked for a while. I love it.
This is awesome, man.
I want to thank you for coming on the show, Casey. If you want to come on again, next month is horror movie, so it'll be a lot more fun. So we'll do that again. We're going to get Casey on the show. Next week on the Scene Snobs Podcast, we are celebrating our 1-year anniversary. What? Of podcasting and videos and the whole 9 yards. So yeah, come back and celebrate our 1-year anniversary of the Scene Snobs podcast. And we'll be kind of celebrating the scenesnobs.com, which is sort of its 1-year anniversary as well. I mean, that was around a little bit longer, but we'll just call it the anniversary.
Yeah.
But either way, come back, enjoy it. Next Tuesday, October 6th. And we are starting with, go check out some of our written reviews on the scenesnobs.com. We're going to see more of them coming up. I just did one for Spiral. I just did one for Rook, which is a really cool indie film. And I also go check out the my interview with the director, Stephen Morgan. That is up now. You can check that out on Scene Snobs Interviews. He was a lot of fun. His movie is great. Go rent it on Amazon. It's fantastic. It's a very cool heist film. Yeah, tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. live here on Facebook and on the YouTube channel. Please subscribe always. Is Behind the Box Podcast. We're talking cursed movies, and we will be analyzing the Twilight Zone movie. So we are excited for that. So make sure you come and join us tomorrow night. Rob Paints the Movies will be live 7:30 p.m. on Thursday. It's a very cool picture that he is painting that night. So go check it out. And then we will be live on Friday night at 9 p.m. here on YouTube and Facebook with the Canned Air podcast guys. They're joining me in studio. No, I'm not. Sorry, they're not joining me in studio because it's COVID and they're not allowed to. They will be joining me via satellite or internet or what? I had to say satellite. You know what? I knew internet was the word I had to say, but I was like, there's no way I'm not saying satellite here.
There's going to be stuff on ones and zeros transmitting through the world.
It's ones and zeros. It can't be wrong. So make sure you join us Friday night. We'll be talking to them. They're awesome guys. Great show. So go check out Canned Air. So that's our shows. Thank you, Casey, for joining in. I very much appreciate it. You're always welcome on, my friend, and let's talk some crap. Remember, we're doing a watch party Saturday night. I am Brian and I from Pulling Focus Podcast are going to team up and do it. We'll get the details out to you very soon. And thank you to my sponsor, Kimball's Cookies. Go check them out on Facebook. It's in the description. After you hit the subscribe button, notification button, then you go right down, you click Facebook, you go over there, you order some cookies, you eat them because they're delicious. You admire them first because they're beautiful, beautifully decorated. So, cookies. Until next time, I am the Scene Snob, Mick Manhattan, and this has been the Scene Snobs Podcast. Thank you very much again to my special guest host.
Thank you. Fantastic. Until the next time, my friend.
Thank you, sir. You have a good night. All right, buddy?
You as well, bro.
All right, everybody. We're going to check out some more from our sponsor as I get everything ready to go. So thank you very much, and I'll talk to you guys later.